Well, good morning, YouTube. Hey, and good morning, Jessa. Hey, baby. All right, it's Thursday morning. It's just after 9 a.m. We just rolled up the curtains. Got two bikes up on the lift already, and got one pulling in here. Maybe it's another potential customer. Actually, got two pulling in right now. Hopefully today will be another great day like it was yesterday. Yep.
Welcome to Ocean City Bikefest.
All right, got a few more bikes rotated in and out, and then this classic beauty came in here. 2003 883 Sportster, 100th anniversary. This is just a really cool looking bike, very traditional. Kind of reminds me of the old cafe racers back in the days. Of course, that tribute there back to the old XR series. Good morning. We have a man down. So I've been having an issue with these screws backing out that hold the flag mount, and I've retightened them enough times so that the self-tapping threads into that aluminum have just stripped out, so there's nothing holding it now. So we're gonna have to just remove this. Probably gonna have to bolt it all the way through, but inside the trailer, there's some trim panels in the way, so probably not gonna do it today, but I'm gonna take this off so that it doesn't just fall off going down the road, and we'll move this flag to another location. This one here is looking a little sad as well, but the mount is good, so we're just gonna swap them out. Thais.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your name?
Adam.
I'm married, so I'm gonna stay on the food.
Okay. All right. So I'm recording right now. Just tell what you want to know and where to go to find you.
Okay.
You got to speak loud because of the.
Okay.
In fact, you know what? Face this way.
Yeah.
That way it's behind me.
Hello, I am Thais Lima. You can follow me at my Instagram, and he's gonna put that for you. And I am here enjoying the bike week at Ocean City, and I'm loving to do it. Thank you so much.
All right. So what is your Instagram? Say it.
My Instagram is Thais Lima Official. TAS Official. LIMA OFFICIAL. Thank you.
Hi guys, it is now like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and we've been fairly steady almost all morning, a few lulls here and there. Definitely not at our sales goal yet, but man, this place is starting to get crowded. You can tell that today was the day a lot of people, hey, come in. I know a lot of the hotels were only booked for today and later, not as many for yesterday. All right guys, and if you enjoy this kind of content, all the action and shenanigans that go on during a bike week, especially from a rally vendor's point of view, make sure you subscribe. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the show, guys. That is a huge challenge, but I think you guys can make it happen. It's only 3 days. We still got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday after today. And of course, you guys won't see this video until Friday morning. So hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's help us get it there, get over that goal, get over that hurdle. And then you get to enjoy all this all the time. Alright guys, so we had a little bit of a lull. I'm back to playing with the electrical system on the new Road Glide. Trying to find a way to power Love Jugs because, as I said in earlier videos, the plug that we would normally use is no longer on the 2024 model. Now, I went to Sounds when I first got the motorcycle and they gave me this Bluetooth adapter thingy here for the CarPlay, which plugs in to the accessory plug. So I had a base plug, I can get a part number for it. So I've made an adapter here to put the 6-pin Deutsch on that plug, and now I should be able to plug in the Softail version of the Love Jugs. I've tested it for power and ground. Now I'm going to go grab a Love Jug, plug it in, make sure it works. Then we just have to figure out the mounting, which I think I've got a solution for that too. We'll have to see. All right guys, so I actually have this sample Love Jug that has never been for sale. It's actually a black chrome, which I think with all the gloss black trim on this motorcycle would look nice. Now, we never put these in production. This was just a test run to see how it would look. We never really had a huge want for it. I think people wanted the powder coat gloss black more, which we may put into production soon. But I've had this one sitting around for a couple of years now, never been for sale, never used it. So now we're gonna use it to test, because if I can make it all work, this will be the setup on my bike. All right, so they're sitting there, they're plugged in. Reach up and hit the power switch. Bike's powering on, and there they go. Switch is lit up, fans are working. We have success. Hi guys, as far as mounting, the biggest problem we had is this bracket comes with the Softail Love Jugs, and it is designed to work with the ignition coil on the Softail. However, the bracketry on this bike is a little different. Now, Softails are a rigid mounted engine. They are bolted directly into the chassis with no movement, where the big twins have a movable engine mount, stabilizer bars, rubber mounts, so on and so forth. So instead of having this bracket, which is on a Softail that bolts to the frame, then up here it bolts to the top of the cylinder heads, and that's where the coil would mount. It has a bracket more like this. Also bolts to the cylinder heads. It does not bolt to the frame, and the coil mounts there. But the difference is it mounts the coil at a different height. It's a little bit lower. So if you look mounted to the same surface, the one on the Touring model mounts the coil lower than the one on the Softail model. But the bolt pattern where it goes to the cylinder head is exactly the same. So what I'm hoping is that I can cut the actual frame mount part of this bracket off, and then mount this bracket to the new motorcycle, which will move the coil up a little higher. And then when I put the Love Jugs bracket on, it should all work. All right, guys, so on a Softail, when somebody buys Love Jugs, like I said, it comes with this bracket, and this bracket just lays right over top of that bracket. The coil bolts right back in, and then the Love Jugs mount to the bottom holes like this. But the bracket on the 2024 Touring models got a different shape to it, and our bracket doesn't quite overlay properly, so the holes don't line up. That's why I want to change brackets. Now I may experiment with just removing this bracket completely from the Touring model and only using this bracket. The downside to that is the coil brackets have a captured nut in the backside right there. It's welded in, and that's what the bolt goes through. This is designed to just pass that bolt through, but I can always put a nut on the back of that bolt, or in future models I can have the factory weld a cert on there basically that is threaded, will solve that problem. The other thing that I think may have an issue is this has got the cutout in the middle to where this is solid, and that's because when you look on the Touring model, you have this fuel inlet, or actually it's the tank's fuel outlet going into the fuel line, but it looks like there's enough clearance, it just might work, without, assuming that the engine movement isn't too much. We won't know for sure until we actually bolt it on. So worst case scenario, I may have to cut a window into this just to give it the clearance, but hopefully it will all still work. We're gonna get ready, test fit it, and see. All right, so I took out the rear seat bolts and just lifted the tank to give me a little more clearance in here. There are two sensors that bolt into the top of this bracket, and you see I've got the coil removed and just sitting down here. The wires are just off and tucked to the sides. So I'm gonna carefully take these two bolts out. I think better off with just the standard Allen wrench. Not a lot of room to get in there with a ratchet. So I got my OEM bracket off, and there is another little piece on here that swivels around on this pin. It looks like it's just a spacer for the sensor that goes on the front head. All right, each one of those bolts goes through a sensor on the top of the head. The one on the front, the bolt goes through the sensor and then through the spacer and then through the bracket and into the head. But I don't see any reason why I can't just transfer that spacer over as well. It all should work, I hope. All right, so I've got the Love Jugs bracket in place. I do not have it fully tightened down yet. Just got it kind of started. I'm gonna lower the tank back down and make sure that this fuel fitting doesn't interfere. All right, and we have contact. So, well, really we don't. We're seated all the way. There's no pressure on that, but with the movement of the engine, it would probably cause interference. So I think at some point we're gonna have to clearance that some. Okay, so I've made my marks on where I need to trim this, or at least the areas that are open on the other one. They don't have to be exactly the same. Right in here is the more critical part, but I think we can make it all work. I'm gonna break out the cutting wheel. So I made some modification, just kind of a preliminary test. It's not super pretty, but I mean, I tried to smooth it out a little bit. That should do what we needed to do. Let's give it a test. All right, and as I'm test fitting to the actual coil, that little window in the back that the plug fits through, I did have to clearance it just a tiny bit. I did not clearance the bottom, only the top, so you can see it wasn't very much, just to get that to pop in there. All right, fuel tank is sitting down, and now I have got plenty of clearance around that fuel fitting. Everything's tight and snug, coils in place, love jug mounts are in place. I did have to use a backup nut on here, but there we go.
Well, this is supposed to be nice. Let me know what you... I think you're looking at about a G.
All right, guys, just in the world's first 2024 Harley-Davidson Road Glide with Love Jugs, the world's most powerful and effective V-twin cooling system in the world, right here in Extreme Heights. Guys, it is about 6:30 and it's definitely slowing down out here. Most vendors are still open, but they're slowing down. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off for the night. Conserve that extra half an hour's worth of fuel. We need like one more oil change to meet our sales goals, so we're really hoping that one more will come in. All right, guys, well, we got it. 5 minutes before 7. Gentleman right there with that CVO brought it in to get a Supreme oil change service on it, and that put us at the sales that we needed. Now most vendors are closing up. There's a couple that are still open, but most of them are closed. I think we're gonna follow suit and do the same thing. Bob and Tam were here earlier today, and I think we're gonna go meet them for dinner. Not sure where yet. They're down by the boardwalk. They're gonna call us in a few and let us know where to meet them. All right, guys, so Bob and Tam finally replied to us and sent us a message. They're meeting at the dough roller here on the boardwalk. Hi, George. Sorry, subscriber over there. And so we're meeting with them right over here to have some dinner. And it turns out one of our subscribers, George, sitting right over there. All right, guys, so we just finished up with dinner with Bob and Tam and Joe over here at the dough roller. And yeah, they kicked us out and closed the door the second we got back out to the boardwalk. You know, today was actually a pretty good day. We did finally make our sales, which was awesome. We had so many subscribers come by today, which was really great too. Got to meet a bunch of you. And it was like gift giving day. So we had quite a few people bring us some really sweet things. We're gonna go over those in just a second. All right, guys, so Whit had come by today and brought us a bunch of vegetables. So he lives local and has got a cool garden, and he brings us vegetables. He did last year as well. And they're actually really, really good homegrown stuff, and that was very, very nice of him. Yeah, and then Fred came by, and he's a really sweet guy too. He brought us an anniversary card, just like he did last year, and did he do the year before as well? I think maybe. Yeah, so every year he knows our anniversary is just before the show. It was 2 weeks ago now, but he brought us this really sweet card, and Katie's gonna read it for you.
Yes, because it was really sweet, and I loved it. So I want him to know that I loved it.
A marriage is measured by more than just years. It's measured by living, by laughter and tears, by good times, contentment, and dreams that come true, and also by hard times that love brings you through. A marriage is greater than simply the sum of all you've accomplished and how far you've come. It's people whose lives you have touched in some way and values you've stood for and lived day by day. A marriage is measured by lessons you've learned, examples you've set, and respect you have earned. It's forged in the balance the two of you find in partnership, friendship, and all love combined. Happy anniversary to my favorite YouTubers. Blessings and safe travels this rally season. Fred Wimbrow. I love that. It was very sweet.
All right, and last but not least, unfortunately, their names are escaping me right now because you guys know I'm really, really bad with names. But another couple brought us a bunch of like tasty cakes, but I guess they're types of tasty cakes that you can only get in the Pennsylvania area, so they're flavors that we're not really used to. Haven't had any yet, but
One of them's butterscotch, so that won't last long. It's one of his favorites.
I love butterscotch. But anyway, I want to thank all of you subscribers that have come out to see us and viewers, whether you're subscribed or not. It's really great meeting all of you, and I know I've said it many, many times. We really do appreciate it. Don't ever feel like you're bothering us by stopping to say hi. I'm like, today I was working on my bike, and lots of people came up. I always stopped and took the time to talk with them. It's just who I am. So we really appreciate it. But guys, I think we're going to end this one here. We've still got to go get settled for the night and get up and do it all over again tomorrow. And tomorrow is Friday. It should be busier. Saturday should be crazy busy. So we got to get some rest. And I'm still going to edit these videos. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time we see you,
Keep those engines running.
good night, guys.
Good night.
You guys are fucking friends?